ladies and gentlemen, students, future contributors to civilization. If you've come here expecting me to tell you how to be brilliant, wealthy, or extraordinary, I'm afraid you've been misled. Because the truth, one I discovered much earlier than most, is this. It is far easier to avoid stupidity than to achieve brilliance, and avoiding stupidity produces far better results. Most people ruin their lives not because they lack genius, but because they repeatedly fall into predictable, avoidable traps. My objective today isn't to make you smarter, though that might happen by accident. My objective is to help you avoid unnecessary misery. If you do that, success tends to take care of itself. Let's begin. Avoid the first massive error. Not learning continuously. One of the worst mistakes you can make, especially at your age, is believing that your education ends when you graduate. If that's how you view learning, then congratulations. You're on track for a life of mediocrity. The world changes too fast. Your knowledge decays too quickly. And if you don't keep upgrading yourself, life will punish you hard. I often told young people, go to bed each night a little wiser than you were when you woke up. This is not optional. It is the price of competence. Most people don't realize that ignorance compounds, just like knowledge does. Every year you fail to learn, you fall further behind, and the world doesn't care. It won't slow down so you can catch up. Don't make the fatal error of coasting intellectually to be a learning machine. Avoid the error of working with the wrong people. Your life's trajectory will be heavily influenced, sometimes determined, by the people you align yourself with. If you associate with losers, drifters, addicts, complainers, unethical operators, or people who lack discipline, your life will slowly deteriorate in their direction. Humans are social mimicking creatures. You're not as independent as you think. I have said repeatedly. If you want to guarantee misery, choose the wrong spouse or the wrong business partner. And I meant it. Surround yourself with people who are reliable, intelligent, ethical, and hardworking. This single decision can prevent a lifetime of regret. Avoid the error of being unreliable. If you want a quick way to ruin your reputation and close doors that will never open again, be unreliable. Be late. Break promises, deliver sloppy work, fail to follow through. Trust, once lost, rarely comes back. You don't need to be a genius to get ahead in life. But you do need to be dependable. If people know they can count on you, opportunities will find you, sometimes faster than you deserve. Avoid the stupidity of unreliability. Avoid the error of not controlling your spending. This is a massive problem among students and young adults. Many of your peers, and maybe you, will make decent money eventually. But making money is not the same as keeping money. If you spend everything you earn, you are not free. You are simply a higher paid slave. The first $100,000 is a B** to earn, but once you have it, you'll feel a freedom you've never felt before. What keeps people from reaching that freedom? Not low income, but dumb spending habits. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Avoid debt used to signal status. Avoid the temptation to look rich before you actually are. Live below your means. This alone prevents more misery than most of you can currently imagine. Avoid the error of ignoring incentives. Never underestimate the power of incentives. They shape human behavior more predictably than values, morals, or intelligence. If you structure your life or your work without understanding incentives, you'll constantly be confused by people's actions. People lie when incentivized to lie. People cheat when incentivized to cheat. People behave terribly when systems reward terrible behavior. Show me the incentive, and I will show you the outcome. Don't design your career, financial life, or relationships without deeply understanding incentives. If you ignore this, You'll repeatedly misjudge people and situations, and misjudgment is expensive. Avoid the error of envy. The stupidest of the 7 deadly sins, envy, is misery on an installment plan. And with social media, millions of young people are voluntarily subscribing to it. Here's the problem. Envy accomplishes nothing. That it does not improve your life. That it does not create opportunity. That it only poisons your mind. I once said. Envy is the only one of the deadly sins that doesn't give you any pleasure. It's pure loss that attacks on your happiness with no return. Avoid comparing your life with others. Play your own game that you'll be astonished how much lighter you feel. Avoid the error of not using the simple and obvious solutions. Most people are looking for complicated solutions because they think complexity equals intelligence. But complexity often equals stupidity. The best ideas in life are usually simple. Spend less than you earn. Work with good people. Be consistently reliable. Learn daily. Avoid bad habits. Don't take risks you don't need to take. This isn't rocket science, but the world is filled with people smart enough to know better who still manage to shoot themselves in the foot. Avoid the mistake of ignoring simple wisdom. Avoid the error of being ruled by your emotions. Emotional control is one of the greatest predictors of long-term success. Without it, your intelligence is useless. You can be brilliant and still ruin your life through impulsiveness, anger, jealousy, or fear. If you cannot control your emotions will control your decisions, and your decisions will control your destiny. The iron rule of life is that you must master your emotions, or they will master you. Learn to pause. Learn to think rationally. Learn to recognize when biases are hijacking your judgment. That mental discipline alone can save you from disasters. Avoid the error of overconfidence. The world punishes arrogance in brutal ways. Young people, especially bright ones, tend to believe they know more than they do. But the truth is, the map in your head is incomplete. The world is more complex than you imagine. That if you don't account for uncertainty and randomness, you are likely to take risks that will wipe you out. Avoid the conceit of thinking you're immune to mistakes. Humility is not weakness. That it is armor. Avoid the error of not building good habits early. The habits you form in your 20s will shape your next 60 years. If you spend your early adulthood focused on consumption, entertainment, distraction, and pleasure, you will pay for those choices in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. But if you build the right habits now, reading, working hard, maintaining health, thinking rationally, life becomes dramatically easier later. Habits are compound interest machines that don't wait until you're in trouble to start caring. Build discipline early while it's still cheap. Avoid the error of being easily influenced by stupidity. Most people follow crowds, fads, trends, and loud personalities. This is a wonderful way to guarantee you make the same mistakes as everyone else. That I recommend what I call worldly wisdom. Think for yourself. Judge ideas objectively. Ignore popular nonsense. Use mental models from many disciplines. That if you build your own judgment, you won't be swayed by the circus of public opinion. Avoid letting fools make your decisions for you. Avoid the error of disrespecting reality. Reality is not optional. That it does not care about your feelings, intentions, or dreams. You cannot negotiate with physics, biology, economics, or mathematics. If you ignore reality, reality will eventually crush you, usually without mercy. I often said, if you jump off a cliff, you do not blame gravity when you hit the ground. Face facts. Know the boundaries of what is possible. Make decisions based on truth, not fantasy. This one error, ignoring reality, has destroyed more lives than bad luck ever did. Avoid the error of underestimating how hard life is. Life is not easy. It never was. It never will be. Many young people sabotage themselves by expecting comfort, fairness, and instant rewards. But life rewards those who endure hardship with dignity and persistence. The world is not yet a crazy enough place to reward a lot of undeserving people. You must earn what you want. You must endure challenges without whining, and you must outlast those who quit. Accepting that life is difficult makes it easier. Expecting it to be easy makes it unbearable. Avoid the error of bad character. You can be brilliant, wealthy, persuasive, and ambitious. But if your character is rotten, your life will eventually collapse. Dishonesty, manipulation, selfishness, laziness. These traits will eventually return to you with interest. Be honest, be ethical, be fair, be someone whose word is as good as gold. Good character is not only morally right, it is practically wise. A simple formula for a life that works. You don't need to be extraordinary. You need only avoid the big, stupid, obvious mistakes. That if you learn aggressively, work with the right people, live below your means, control your emotions, avoid envy, think clearly and independently, respect reality, build good habits early, act reliably and ethically, then you will stand out more than you can imagine. Most people fail not because success is so hard, but because avoiding stupidity is apparently even harder. My advice is simple. Be wise enough to avoid the things that make life miserable. If you do that, the upside will take care of itself. Thank you.